feels very good. I'm telling you, I've been pursued by by many men up to this age of 51. Even till today that I'm married, they still pursue me.
Yeah, most men pursue because they're horny. Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Intrigue Dynamite Show. It is freezing out there. Guys, woo, hence the coat. 7-degree weather. Tell me about it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all of y'all. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, hit the like button. The algorithm loves that type of stuff. You know, it really helps this channel out. It really helps me grow. And I mean, look, also seeing that like button, it gives me feedback as to what it is you guys are thinking. But anyway, let's get into this. So, today's subject matter. Should a woman pursue a man? Should she? I don't know. Should she? Interesting question. Let's ponder that. Well, we're going to examine this. Here's what I have to say. Now, oftentimes when we give dating advice, it is done so with a sense of generational disconnect. While the advice might be time-tested, tried and proven to yield good results, given the evolution of the dating market and rituals, which is also affected by specific changes in societal norms and societal interactions, one might be aghast at the moment that they realize, depending on your generation, the dating advice that you operate on might be 15 years too late. Social change affects social interactions. There's no way around it. Take, for instance, during segregation. Here in the West, if a black woman was walking on the sidewalk to avoid walking in a water puddle, and a white person was walking on the sidewalk approaching the black woman had to make way for the white person, and so she had to step into the mud. But fast forward, that interaction is now different. Getting muddy is now an equal opportunity undertaking. So we can see that when societal change takes place, new options become available that were not otherwise afforded to you under a different set of societal circumstances. And with these options comes a rewiring of the matrix. The advent of the cell phone made texting an option for interpersonal communication. And so the prior generation may stick with the old tried and true method of typing a letter and mailing it with an envelope and a stamp, or actually picking up the phone to call. But the upcoming generation renders those as antiquated practices. These changes, even in technology, can alter behavioral changes or psychological changes as well. For instance, when things are made more readily available, patience can be the first thing that goes out the window. Disheartening as change may be for some, you know what they say. You know you're old when you start questioning the practices of the youth. But it's a cycle, and we all have to deal with it. So, the pursuit of a woman, once upon a time, in some societies, may have been something as simple as gathering up enough goats and wine to present to her parents in hopes that they would say yes. And if that would have worked, then you would have a brand new virgin with the wrapper still intact. However, things change. And say if I were to write a dating book, advising men based off of those practices, and I started the book with the rule number 1, go buy a goat. That would probably get me laughed out of the arena. So with this in mind, we're going to examine this video made by this sister, Dr. Iyabo. In this video, she gives 7 reasons why a woman should not pursue a man. Well, let's take a look at this with certain things in perspective. I believe her content is geared toward a majority female base, and so I'm always curious as to what women advise other women in this current climate where marriage, especially in the Black community, is at an all-time low. So this is the perspective of a man that is merely observing. Let's get into it.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. My name is Dr. Iyabo. I'm the Money to Honey coach. So let's get into it. Today we're discussing 7 reasons why you shouldn't pursue a man. First reason why you should not pursue a man. You end up doing his job for him, right? You end up doing his job for him. You're really wasting your time. And I'm telling you, how will you know if he's interested in you? Okay? A man pursues you when he's interested in you, right? And if a man is interested in you, I'm telling you, nothing will stop him from chasing you. Okay? If you're on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, he will climb up that Mount Kilimanjaro to get you.
A lot of good guys, they don't pursue, they don't know what to say. A lot of good guys are very shy. They're extremely shy. This is an account by the psychologist Jordan Peterson, who gives a perspective of what men are actually dealing with. Because a lot of times women don't know this. Women judge men based off of the top tier guys that are out in front in the media or in Hollywood or in entertainment, things of that nature. But you really want to know what the average guy is dealing with? Well, just take a listen.
I don't know if women have any idea how paralyzing they are to especially young men. A very large number of my clinical clients, but also young men I've talked to in general, are absolutely terrified of women because they're terrified of being rejected. And the terror exists in precise proportion to the attraction to the woman, which is a horrible paradoxical situation to be in. It's often why men make such fools of themselves in front of women that they're attracted to. It's because, first of all, they don't see the woman that they're attracted to. Because what the hell do they know about her? They don't see her as an individual. They see her as the manifestation of a judgmental ideal.
Which is why it's very good to understand what men are saying on their part. So women will have to understand how to play that. She says a man will go all the way up to the top of the mountain trying to chase you. Yeah, but not a man that has options. A man that has options, he's going to look for the one that's down for him. And by that, yeah, a woman is going to have to pursue in some level. It's not like back in the day where she just looks pretty and sits back and just hopes that her father vets all of the men for her. And today's time, women are pursuing. What they're pursuing is their careers. They're getting out there and they're putting all of their energy into their careers, and they're going to pursuing education and this, that, and the other. So they're putting their energy into that. But then when it comes to a man, it's, hey, don't pursue. Let him do all of the work. Really? Well, it's a different time. I will say that sometimes a woman is going to have to get up and go and take the initial step, because oftentimes guys are like, man, I ain't about to tell her nothing. I'm not going to tell her anything. This Me Too movement, all of this stuff, how she says she's not with the feminists. Well, there are feminists out there that push a narrative. Well, there are people that wear the banner of feminism that push a narrative that has men like, man, look, I'm not even going to risk it.
Number two, as simple as ABC. If you pursue a man, you lose your value. Your value as a woman, number one, is your feminine superpower. Once you start to pursue and chase a man, you start to get into your masculinity, because pursuing is for men. Men like pursuing, they like chasing, they like looking for what it is that they want. Why are men even better businessmen? Why are men better business entrepreneurs? Because they like to pursue something, they like to chase something. So if you start to pursue a man, you lose your value, and that value that you lose is your feminine superpower.
Now, here's the thing. We're going to have to define pursue. Now, pursue can be hunting down. So we have to really define that, because women do pursue. Women pursue careers and education. They go for things that they want. Oftentimes a woman will pursue material things. She knows how to put her energy into those things, but then when it comes to a man, I am the table. What are you bringing to the table? I am the table. I'm bringing me. Really, they don't understand what it is or what it takes. You actually do have to pursue in a way. So this is why it's very important to define pursue. Now, if by pursue, it's hunt down, chase, go crazy, stalk, lose your mind. No. So saying this is why it has to be defined, because it will have women sitting on their butts, being complacent, not making any steps, just waiting on them. You know how many women are sitting there saying, God's going to send me my man? She's 89 years old. God's about to call you home.
Number 3, basically, you miss out on the good feeling of being pursued by a man. It feels very good. I'm telling you, I've been pursued by many men up to this age of 51. Even till today that I'm married, they still pursue me.
Yeah, most men pursue because they're horny. That's essentially it.
Number 4, your self-esteem will take a big hit. So first of all, to start with, the kind of women who pursue men are already women who have low self-esteem. So imagine if you already have low self-esteem, you're pursuing a man, and then you start to pursue him, and he starts to play games with you, like he sees that you're really interested in him. So then he starts to ignore you, or he starts to play games, like if you text him, he won't reply for 1 week, or if you text him, he'll wait for you to text him 3 or 4 more times before he replies. Do you know what's going to happen? Your self-esteem will go even lower.
See, that one's touchy. Women who don't pursue men can have a low self-esteem. There are some women that feel like they aren't worthy. There are some women that feel like that, they're very shy because they have low self-esteem. And then other women are considerably more competitive. That's not low self-esteem. I mean, even biblically, come on. A very prominent woman, the Queen of Sheba, sought out Solomon. This is a woman who definitely did not have low self-esteem. Oh, she sought him out. She heard about this guy and how wise he was. She went after him. See? So, and this is what Ethiopia. So yeah, we're dealing with black people. So black people have also been pursuing. You pursue what you want. When you sit back and you don't do anything, think about that, because it exists in parallel. If a woman is not to do anything and sit back, and that's considered high self-esteem, then a man that sits back and does nothing is supposed to be high self-esteem. It's not true. A woman that goes after what she wants, that's a sign of high self-esteem. A woman who gives herself to everybody, well, now that's a sign of low self-esteem. But going after what you want, that's high self-esteem. Sitting back and not doing anything, that's seen in low self-esteem people. A lot of people have to be reassured over and over and over and over and over again. You are beautiful. You are handsome. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now get your ugly behind up there. I mean, get your beautiful behind up there. That's a joke. Ha ha hee hee. But the truth of the matter is, I would have to say that I have a slight different perspective on. You know? If the Queen of Sheba wanted that man, she went out there and had his baby too. You know? She was not low self-esteem by any standards. Black Queen went after her king. So with that in mind, women are going to have to make some steps to meet men halfway. It's not like it used to be. We're in a different time. Now, she's 51. She's in an older generation. This is an older generation. This is actually my generation. We have to keep that in mind. The way that it was for us is not necessarily the way that it is now, especially considering that people do a lot of online dating. They do a lot of online dating and all of this, that, and the other, where there's so many options available. There's too many options. And women that have a lot of options at their disposal, it has been shown that the average woman is hard to satisfy.
The book is based on a survey where men and women were asked if they got 80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? And women said, no, that's settling. And men said, 80%, I'd be thrilled, that's a catch. And so
80% to the women you surveyed is settling?
Thing is, we're too picky about the things that don't matter at all for long-term romantic happiness, but we're not picky enough about the things that actually do matter.
Come on, what are women too picky about here?
Well, I'll tell you, men and women were asked what would be a deal breaker for going on a second date. And men named 3 things. They said she has to be cute enough. She doesn't have to look like Angelina Jolie. She just has to be cute enough. She has to be warm and kind. And she has to be interesting to talk to. Those seem like really valid criteria.
Ding, 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 ding. Pretty simple.
Right. Okay, reasonable, right? The women came back with 300 things that would rule out a guy for a second date. And we're talking about like another 2 hours and maybe a free dinner. And they wouldn't do it. And there were things like he wore a brown belt with black shoes.
Women are going to have to start making some moves because today's woman is not like yesterday's woman. Today's man is not like yesterday's man. A lot of these guys don't know what to do. They're shy. And a lot of them are not making any moves because they're trying to protect themselves, especially the guys that are, at the top. Men that have something to lose, and these men are very much more skeptical. I mean, here you have this incident with Drake. This lady is trying to have a baby behind his back. He throws a condom away and puts some hot sauce in the thing. Well, so it just goes to show you that guys of means don't know who is for them, And so how do you deal with that? If you're dealing with a man of means that has options, especially if it's someone that you're interested in, do you sit back and let the other woman take him? Well, he wasn't meant to be then, wasn't meant to be. Really? That's how you look at it? But that's not how you look at a job. When it comes to other things, you go for what you want. No one's saying go crazy, but you do go after it. And you let it be known. Otherwise, you be by yourself. And then you'll come to an age where you convince yourself that, you were meant to be single, that you didn't need anybody anyway. That's just something that people do or say to help them sleep at night because they did not take the actions that they should have taken when they had the opportunity to. Do they think that they're going to be pursued forever for marriage? No, this is something that you have to do completely separately. You actually have to get out there and put in work if you are trying to be pursued for marriage. If it's just pursue me, okay, great. But what separates you from every other woman that men are pursuing? The fact that you're working on yourself, those are the women guys are avoiding. Those are the ones that know they're not getting married. You have anecdotal circumstances, but these typically exist in my generation, as the good doctor here is. She's in my generation. Things are completely different for the younger ones. Here's what I have to say. I'll have to say this. You're going to have to go after what it is that you want, but you don't sweat. You don't go crazy, but you do have to let it be known. And you're going to have to, a lot of times you're going to have to take the first step. A lot of guys, they are scared. They don't know what to do, and they don't know what your intentions are. This is why a lot of rich guys use escort services, because they know they know that it's a business and there's confidentiality, and they know that there's no foolery going on there. See, a lot of women don't take into consideration the plight of men and what men are thinking or feeling. A lot of the advice is of yesterday's generation. But when you're in an environment where a man and a woman can have intercourse, and then the next day, she can withdraw consent of what was consensual yesterday. Oh, men are like, oh man, off limits. I'm just sit back. We don't consider that. Think about it.